And I want to bring in ABC News contributor, presidential historian Mark Updegrove for more. Mark, Trump's attorney argued before the Supreme Court yesterday that presidents have to be immune in order to do their job effectively. But Justice Jackson pushed back on that assertion that previous presidents have operated under the assumption of immunity, saying she believed they operated under the assumption that they could be prosecuted for unlawful acts. What did you make of that exchange?
Well, I think that's absolutely right. Past presidents have not believed that they would have immunity for their actions, and you only have to go back to Watergate to see that that's the case. Why would Richard Nixon have resigned the office for the good of the nation in the face of obstruction of justice charges relating to the Watergate scandal if he thought he would be immune from prosecution? That was the reason that he resigned. And frankly, it was a time, Diane, when the system was considered to work. That was Gerald Ford, in taking the office after Richard Nixon as his successor, said, the system works. We are a nation of laws and not men. Here the people rule. So this would change that. This would mean that one man is above the law and can interpret for himself what is proper behavior in the official capacity of president and commander-in-chief of our nation, Diane.
The Justice Department's attorney also made a comment that was interesting, saying the reason prior presidents haven't been charged is because they didn't commit crimes while in office. What is that? How does that sound to you as a historian?
Well, I think it's right. Justice Gorsuch said this is a rule for the ages. He's looking at the future and how it changes the nature of the presidency. But we have to look at the past, too. We have a system that has worked to this point because presidents do believe that they are not immune from prosecution for things that they do in an official capacity. So, it has worked to this point. We have had good presidents who are able to function effectively in the position of president of the United States with the system as it is. Clearly, Donald Trump is pressing this case because he wants to be immune from charges that he had fomented a surrection around January 6th. If this goes forward, would this allow Donald Trump and his successors to do those same things with immunity? That's the big question here, Diane.
How would that precedent set, if the justices do go in that direction, how would that precedent change the office of the presidency and the way future presidents operate?
Well, I think it depends on what they consider a president immune for, what is considered an official capacity. So there's a lot of nuance here, Diane, but I think that it certainly expands the power of the presidency. And we work with a system that has checks and balances. There are balances between the different branches of government, judicial, legislative, and executive. This would significantly expand the power of the executive branch of government, make it more powerful. And would there be a check to ensure that presidents are acting in the best interest of our country and not for personal gain? That's the big question here, Diane.
All right, ABC News contributor, presidential historian Mark Updegrove, thank you.